You're invited to imagine what's next. What the next view you wake up to will be. Where your next adventures will start from. Your perfect space to entertain. And your sanctuary to unwind in. As you begin to imagine your new place, we'll be here to help you find it. Because nothing compares to what's next. Sotheby'sRealty.com.
People who do not feel well will not work well. And when some of India's top cities such as Delhi, NCR and Mumbai are battling air pollution and AQI levels ranging from poor to severe, it begs a question. Are the buildings and office spaces that we spend 1/3 of our lives in any better? Are your employers and workspace providers doing the best they can to ensure that for the 8 to 9 hours you spend in your offices, you're breathing clean air with enough light and thermal comfort to keep you healthy and productive? Now, here's a GBCI Saint-Gobain study done in 2021, which examined 30 offices located in 9 Indian cities. These were a mix of green certified and non-certified spaces, private and government both. The study revealed that most offices are unable to maintain healthy indoor quality. Out of the 30 offices studied, only one had all the indoor air contaminants within the limits prescribed as healthy. Now, in few of the offices studied, it was observed that due to high outdoor air pollution levels, the building operator shut off outdoor air intake, unaware that this actually results in a buildup of indoor pollutants. Now, the study found that poor lighting conditions are common. 64% of the spaces had illuminance levels lower than the recommended global standards. The positives were thermal comfort conditions were found to be met in 75% of the office spaces studied, and offices performed well on noise reduction or outdoor noise reduction. 77% of offices had the reverberation time known as RT as per the recommended levels as healthy. We now bring you India's best office developers, managers and flexi office operators to understand what are they doing right to ensure well-being of those working in their buildings and workspaces, so you can start demanding the same from your employers. Joining me today, Ramesh Nair, CEO of Mindspace Business Park REIT, Deepa Satyaram, Executive Director, N3 Sustainability Solutions, Karan Virvani, CEO WeWork India, and Kumran Rajamanikam, Executive Director, Technical, DLF. Deepa, I'm going to come to you first as an independent expert specializing in sustainable solutions. You know, I know that the results would have been much better if I'd gone directly to Karan or to Ramesh and looked at just the grade A green certified buildings. But the fact remains, the stock of such buildings is quite limited in India, and indoor pollution is worrying. What, according to you, is the real cost to businesses, not just employees, of not taking care of it?
I think the biggest effect, Manisha, of poor air quality is loss in productivity. There have been enough studies globally done which says that there is an increase in productivity of 8% or more in spaces that maintain better indoor environments. So this is a huge number, 8%. Productivity has a huge impact in businesses directly, not just on the employee health and well-being, but also on the operating profits and the business activities within an organization. So there's a huge impact. I think there's enough studies today that demonstrate that poor indoor environments impact businesses directly, not just the health and well-being of employees. And it's only a question of time where we spend more and more hours indoors. This number is going to increase.
Okay. So let me then come to Ramesh Nair. Mindspace REIT, what are you doing, Ramesh, to ensure that, you know, occupiers who come there, their work, you know, people who are working there are actually breathing clean air, because Mumbai is a large market for your portfolio. And now it's in the grip of, I mean, it's making news which we don't want on air pollution.
Manisha, we do many things. I'll highlight the top 3-4 things. First is a lot of focus on air filtration. We have realized that with the right air filtration, you can actually capture a lot of clean air in our campuses, and it has the ability to arrest dust particles. And we've seen in some cases with the filters, we can take it up to 98% cleaner air in our building. So that's one, better air filtration systems. Second is what we call the UVGI technology. UVGI stands for ultraviolet germicidal irradiation technology. By putting this UV lamps in the AHU rooms, we reduce infections and germs, and we also keep tracking that continuous tracking and monitoring of understanding what is the toxicity in the air, which we track for in all our buildings. That's again important. We try and see how we can push in 30% more fresh air using the right ventilation standards. Antimicrobial finishes. We've studied what are the surfaces which have antimicrobial properties, whether it's titanium, cobalt, copper. So we try and see how much we can put more of these materials in our parks. Butterfly gardens we have done in one of our parks, biosonification, lots of sports arenas, cafeterias, water bodies. So those are some of the things which we are planning, which we're already doing in some parks and want to replicate in all our parks.
Okay, Karan Virwani. So here is a developer, that's the hardware. You occupy the space inside and also provide the software. So you're a tenant and of course also responsible for providing fantastic workspaces.
Yes.
Tell me, what do you expect from the developer to come to you, and what do you give in the WeWork spaces when it comes to just air quality?
So up to the HVAC, facade light, facade quality, or the amount of light that it allows into the space, the air quality that comes in, and biophilia, things like that, we are very particular about. In our own spaces, however, we do a lot more as well. On top of that, we also have filters built in that allow us to reduce get the air quality better. We are also focused heavily on light and greenery in our spaces to help wellness and comfort. And even from just the way that we actually operate energy within the space, we have a new building management system that uses AI and machine learning for thermal comfort and better movement of air through the spaces as well. So we have a health pod that allows you to do now a full body checkup, including ECG, in a span of 60 seconds. I believe it's actually just a place where you can come sit down, and within a minute you get all your vitals, and it also will eventually give you an AI-based consultation to detect anything that that could be wrong in your breathing or your blood, blood sugar levels and things like that. So we're trying to even provide health as a service now to our tenants, because they feel like this is very important for the employees.
Kumran, you tell me, I mean, DLF has the largest portfolio in the most polluted region of the country, which is Delhi NCR, or let's say amongst the most polluted. What is DLF doing to ensure just clean indoor air quality?
Yeah, Manisha, I think with the current situation, we're all talking about the air quality. In fact, DLF in all of its campuses, not only in the NCR region, but across the Indian portfolio, have moved long back from the regular MERV filters to a better MERV 14 filter. So there is a considerable amount of filtration which happens for giving clean air into the facilities. Also, the fresh air which is being pumped into the facility, we do in terms of an increased number, air changes per hour is the technical term. So from a mandated one, we normally do at a number of 2 air changes per hour into these facilities, so that not only you cover the filtration of the air, but also the quantum of air, fresh air, which is given into the facility, the treated fresh air. Also, if you've been to any of our facilities, you would see the digital screen at the atrium, at the entrances, displaying all the indoor air quality parameters, which are much, much better compared to what you have in the outside vicinity. And this gives a very, very warm, welcoming feel also to the occupants when they see the parameters when they enter into all our facilities. companies.
Here are some of the best practices that the top developers of India are following, and very progressive companies like WeWork are also following. Tell me though, are we at par with global standards when it comes to managing health and well-being, and is it only limited to the very top? Then how do we take it or percolate it below that?
I think that this whole conversation around health and well-being in buildings has been relatively new in India, though we've had one of the worst pollutions outdoor. The built environment is just basically talking about better air quality recently. But another big area that we're not seeing a lot of movement yet is in terms of the material selection. A lot of the contaminants are indoor pollutants. While we grapple with particulate matter that comes from outside and we are able to cut that off through better filtration systems, there's a lot of emissions that come indoors. And these are coming from materials that we are putting into the building, be it the carpets, the furnishings, the partitions, the paints, the blinds, or even simple things like, for example, coverings. So these are all emitting VOCs all the time, and they actually have a huge pollution that actually increases the indoor air quality risk inside. So one of the things that we are trying to push buildings to do more is to start looking at selection of materials right from day one, from a perspective of health and wellness. As much as we looked at materials from a green and sustainability standpoint, now we're starting to look at the health product declaration of materials. We're looking at the chemical composition of materials, the volatile organic emissions from these materials, and starting to select better materials. Another big area that needs to be looked at is air quality monitoring and measurement.
All right, Deepa, we're going to come back and ask Ramesh exactly that question, and also Karan, how much are they monitoring? Not just the body scan, but the overall parameters of wellness within their buildings that they provide or workspaces that they provide. Stay with us for those crucial answers.
Welcome to Jaipur Polo Ground.